Grammy-winning artist Bad Bunny told Variety that it's silly for him to complain about his job when his job is to sing. So, Shawnee, do we think that there are certain jobs that you maybe don't have the right to complain about?
Listen, I don't know anything about other jobs, but I sing for a living.
Nice.
And I have to tell you, it's so funny because, you know, when someone asks what I do and they're not familiar and I say I sing and they go, that's cute. That's so cute that you do that.
They see it as a hobby almost.
Gosh.
Do you know I bust my butt to get, you know, to make things happen? There's marketing, there's advertising, there's, I wish I went to school for business because that would help me kind of navigate things, but it's not just about the singing, it's how do you get there? And it is hard, this industry is so hard and
you complain
listen,
about it sometimes.
I do, yes. So maybe, but there's joys, obviously, but there's some tough days that I have to get through emotionally, and it is not easy. It is not an easy job, but I love it, so I do it.
Don't you think that, I think it's fair that anyone can complain about their job, but it's kind of like who you doing the complaining to?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
true.
Like,
Yeah.
if I complained to Cynthia, like, oh my God, our stylist picked out the wrong color shoes for me today. I'm so mad. She would be like, I totally get it. She did that to me last week. This is all made up. That would be fair. That would be fair for us. But if I complained about my job to maybe an ER nurse, she has every right to punch me in the face. You know what I mean? It's like the balance there.
Yeah. I actually really like that he has this perspective, and it may come from humble beginnings, because I think if you worked really hard and had a lot of little jobs before you hit it big, you're always in the back of your mind, you're always that person. And I love actually hearing that he's like, you know what? I know how crazy it is that I make millions of dollars and I can go to countries around the world and people come to see me and they spend crazy amounts of money just to hear me sing. And by the way, no offense to him, but he's not really a singer. So I think he's even more aware of the fact that this is a big deal. Like, he's not like a Whitney Houston. So it's like, yes, you are a mid-range singer and people pay a lot of money. And I love that he has that perspective. Like, how can I complain? My voice isn't that good and people love me. I take pictures of myself in my underwear and I'm getting paid for this. Like, I'm sure there was a time, he used to be a wrestler. I don't know if you guys know. There used to be a time where he used to put on a mask and jump into a ring with other men, and now he doesn't have to do that. And I'm sure that's part of where that, like, I don't think I should complain. And I think that's what's coming from.
I think,
right?
But because I think he understands his privilege.
Yes,
and I think the idea of somebody who's literally worked from the bottom and worked to the top is understanding that there is privilege in being allowed to chase your dreams. So I think just as quickly as you're right, know your audience, know who you're complaining to. But I think the flip side of complaining is gratitude. We can all have gratitude. He can have gratitude, which is where I think what I think he's saying is, I'm thankful rather than to whine about it. But to your point, Jess, you know, going home to complain about our job, let's say to my husband who doesn't understand it. My job, my husband's job is physical. He's a contractor, he's a construction worker. He builds homes from the ground up. He's in it right now. He's up to his eyeballs. He comes home, he is physically beat up. And he said to me, and my husband has never complained. We've been together for 19 years. And yesterday he looked at me and said, I'm having a really hard time. And I just went, everybody stop. Take your socks off, let me rub your feet. Let me give you a massage. I have never heard him complain before. And then I realized, Melissa, shut your trap.
Yeah, you read the room.
I read the room and I realized that is physical work. What we do here is a different kind of work, but it is not back-busting work. So I kind of checked myself.
But I also, that's good. And I think that that's a really relatable thing. And we all have struggles. But I think with going back to the music issue, I think that while I think it's important for him to illuminate, like, I've had way harder jobs in life, maybe that's what he's trying to say, or to show gratitude. I think there's a job and a responsibility for people in public positions to illuminate sometimes some of the things that should be complained about in the industry. I think back to Prince and R.I.P. Prince, but he got into a lot of hot water when he started showing up wearing the word slave on the side of his face. I don't know if you guys remember this era. And people thought he was associating himself with you know, being a slave in the most traditional sense, but he was, I'm a slave to my music label. And it drew attention. It was a complaint. He was complaining about, you know, bad practices and crappy deals that he couldn't get out of. And I think that started a conversation in the music industry. So we want to have leaders like that also to point out, and it's a complaining thing in order to move a dial forward.
You make a solid point, but I'm also imagining that Bad Bunny's going, wow, Prince could play every instrument, he could really sing, and I'm out here talking, making the same money. Not gonna hear a peep out of me. All right.
I feel like, is he privileged and does he get to just show up and sing? Yeah, but can that go away? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And should you learn how to run your business and where it comes from and help those people who are making that you be able to be on that stage and open your mouth and do those things? Yeah, absolutely. You should learn how the business is done so that when it does go away, you know what you're doing and where you need to go to keep that longevity.
And save your money.
Yeah.
Hey, you, come a bit closer. We've got so many more must-see interviews, spicy debates, lifestyle tips, and pop culture moments. So subscribe to our channel by tapping the logo below and don't miss out.